What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode or another video covering Pokemon Sun and Moon on episode what we're talking about. And we have another new Pokemon revealed yet again, 2 days in a row. Just another one here, but this is revealed in the world's opening ceremony, and this Pokemon is Crabrawler. Now Crabrawler is a pure fighting type, even though it looks a lot like, a water type Pokemon because of its blueness and it's crab based. It's actually based, it's based obviously on a boxing champion as well as a crab, but it's a pure fighting type, having the ability Hyper Cutter or Iron Fist. So decent abilities, especially Iron Fist there, since obviously those big fists are going to do some work. There was a short sort of reel played of it, just knocking out a bunch of Pokemon, like slamming them all down, legendaries, just everything, taking them out. Cabala looks like it's going to be a really cool Pokemon. It looks pretty derpy to me. Its eyes are a bit off, but that's just me. I don't hate it. It looks pretty decent. But apart from that, I just opened the trailer for it, so we'll have a look here and see if there's anything new. But we have some new Pokemon, 4 new Pokemon for Sun and Moon. So Crabrawler, this is the trailer literally just went out. Crabrawler, I'll watch it through, you guys. We have Crabrawler, the pure fighting type, Hyper Cutter, Iron Fist, as I've mentioned already. Then next up, once Crabrawler finishes up punching people basically, we have obviously the Sandcastle Pokemon, Sandygast. Ghost ground type. The ability is called Water Compaction. This is the ability as well as its evolution, Pelosand. I think I've heard about this ability online. It was rumoured, but when it's hit by a water type move, it loses its ground typing. Becomes just a pure, water compaction actually. No, its defense rises sharply when it's hit by a water type move, it would seem. So water compaction makes sense with sand, makes it smaller, compacts up, and it makes its defense higher. Pretty good there. And Pelosand's shovel rotates in its head. Brilliant. Okay, and also we have the pre-evolution to Beware. We've seen it before, but we have Stuffle. So obviously stuffed bear. Ability is Fluffy or Klutz. We've seen this before. Normal fighting. Stands on all 4s rather than on 2 legs, but that's pretty cool. And it has a really weird tail. But yeah, whatever. So that's 4 new Pokemon, 3 of which we've seen before. We now have English names for them, as well as a new Pokemon just revealed, Crabrawler. We have Sandygast and Pelosand, and also we have Stuffle. So, I like those names. Obviously, we've seen the most of the Pokemon before, so we have technically 4 new Pokemon revealed today, but you guys get the idea. So that's pretty good, Sandygast, obviously Sandy, and I guess Poltergeist, sort of like Ghast, same place where, Ghastly comes from. And then we also have Pelosand. Sand is obvious, but Palos, I don't know really what that's meant to come from. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down below. And obviously Stuffle, stuffed bear, sort of stuff, and full maybe, I don't know. If you guys don't have any ideas, let me know down below. But obviously Crabrawler is Crab and Brawler. 4 pretty decent Pokemon, even though they're, the Sandcastle Pokemon are a bit weird in my opinion. They look like they're going to be pretty cool because they are ghost types, and they're supposed to be ghost Pokemon pretending to be sandcastles, which I think is pretty funky, rather than just being like, oh yeah, they're sandcastles. So obviously, they're pretending to be sandcastles, so people play with them and then they get killed by the ghosts, basically. But yes, 4 new Pokemon, or 1 and 3 bits Pokemon. Pretty cool. I shall just check the website, of course, to see if the information's got up there, because obviously I'm covering live, basically. This is a live coverage. There is nothing quite yet, but I shall wait for something to come up now. And here we go, we have some new information on the 4 new Pokemon. We'll look at Crabrawler first. He's the boxing Pokemon, pure fighting type as I mentioned. I've already mentioned the ability and such. He's a personality that really hates to lose, and is not driven not only to aim for a higher position than its fellows in terms of social standing, but literally to aim for a higher position in the landscape. Perhaps as a result, it's sometimes found clinging to tall people or to walls of buildings. Interesting. Its favourite food is berries. It punches the trunks of trees to give the branches a good shake and knock, and any ripe berries fall to the ground. They gather around one tree, but only the one that emerges victorious in battle against the others receives the privilege of eating all the berries. It uses its claws to protect its face and belly while getting in close to an opponent to throw punches. It's powerful enough to split tree trunks, and its pincers are sometimes torn off during bouts, and they are said to be delicious. Oh no. It's Slowpoke tail over again, guys. Then we move on to look at Sandygast. He is the Sand Heap Pokemon, Ghost Ground. Ability is Water Compaction, as I mentioned, which defense stat goes up by 2 stages if it's hit by a water type move. They emerge when the grudges of Pokemon and other creatures soak into the sand after they fall in battle. In essence, it's a possessed lump of sand. Wow, you put it so lovely Game Freak. If you heedlessly grab a Sandygast shovel, you'll fall under its control. It uses its power to manipulate children into gathering sand to increase the size of its body. If it loses the shovel, it may put up a tree branch or flag or another item in its place. That's pretty cool. These Sandygasts are wanderers in search of their own shovels. The tunnel-like mouth of a Sandygast can suck the vitality from people and Pokemon. Apparently it's a test of courage in the Alola region to put your hand into a Sandygast's mouth. That's really creepy, I think. But of course we'll look at its evolution as well, which of course is Polosand or Palosand. It's a Sandcastle Pokemon, who would have guessed. Ghost Ground again, same ability as Sandygast. It can control human adults, making them build a sandcastle that provides camouflage and also raises its defensive abilities. Unlike Sandygast, if it loses some sand from its body, it can restore itself on its own. When moving about in search of prey, the shovel on top of its Palosand's head revolves, as I mentioned earlier. It's said that the shovel can be serving as some kind of radar. Okay, pretty interesting. And then finally, of course, we have Stuffle, the flailing Pokemon, normal fighting type, and obviously same abilities, fluffy cuts. Its cute appearance and movements, plus the fluffy feel of its fur, all combine to make it super popular. They may have a small body, but its strength is extraordinary. Receiving one of its powerful hits without being prepared for it can bring down even well-trained Pokemon. And the truth is that Stuffle really doesn't like being touched. It hates being hugged tightly and will flail its arms in protest. Very sort of the opposite of Beware, which is a friendly Pokemon that likes to hug. So who knows? But yes, 4 pretty cool Pokemon revealed today, guys. I'm growing to like Sandygast and Palosand a bit more now that we know some more about them. But let me know what you think about down below about Crabrawler and these other 3. But this is it for me for today. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. But for now, this is it for me for today. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.